Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast, a show that examines all aspects of sexuality, from physical to emotional to spiritual. Join our hosts as they discuss age-old questions, common misconceptions, and the latest topics surrounding sex. They'll tackle topics about sexuality from the complicated to the hilarious and everything in between. GSMC Sex Podcast is your show for all of your questions about sex, even some you might not have thought of yet.
Welcome to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, with your host Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Now, we all like to scream out some creative names during our sexual encounters, especially if the sex is good. You'll say just about anything. But there are those little pet names that really turn people on. Might just turn on your partner, and they may ask you to call it and scream out their name. Or you want them to say it to you. So we're going to talk about some of those names that are called out during sex. So what we want to be called, or our partners want to be called during that sexual act. And the first one on the top of the list is always Daddy. Call me Daddy. Now, generally, this is the male asking the female to call him Daddy, but from time to time, women like to be called Daddy in the bed. It really depends on the partner, because it's a change in roles, going from the dominant to the less dominant, or the male to the female, where the female wants to feel a little masculinity. But hey, again, make sure your partner likes it and wants to do it. Next one, Dirty Little Girl. Now, this is considered hot to relinquish control to the person in bed that you're with. It's generally said to the female, and some women will say that it makes them feel like, or sounds like, their partner's girl, is dirty. And being a little dirty girl and playing in the mud, it is a complete turn on. I mean, all these little words that you call out to your partner, or they want you to call them when you're in the act, control, they are turn-ons. They make that orgasm much more pleasurable, because it's just the sound, the way it's said, you're in the mood. So, Dirty Little Girl is pretty popular. There's the sweet one, Baby. Now, Baby can be taken so intimately and sexy, so that one is what it is, a baby. The next is bitch. Now, I did not swear. That is a word. It's a female dog, but it is a word that some females like to be called during sex. It's empowering. And it makes them like feel as though they can do anything that they want to do. Next one is good girl. This is more of a dominance type of nickname during the bed. Whereas you are you're submitting, to what they are saying. You're doing what you're told. So it's more used during submission and domination when you're obeying those rules. So that one, you really want to push it to the domineering and put a little bit of control and submission. And during sex, whether you think that you are not in the act of submission, in a way you are. You may not be in full-blown submission and domination, which is a very sexual thing for individuals who are into that. But at one point in time, and it doesn't mean that you do it all the time, there is submission and domination in the bed with all couples. You're just at different levels with them. So don't ever think that you are not. By being called good girl, it's just kind of sort of a little bit more and put in an actual treat to the act, so to speak, if you want to put it that way. You're pleasing your partner and they are accepting of that. So if you want to put it in the nice way, how's that sound? Next one is cum slut. Oh my goodness. Now, this a lot of people like to do when they're in doggy style position and their hair is getting pulled and it's a bit of control again. And they want to see your partner because they're almost to the edge of themselves coming, that they want you to come, and they're like really working you to get there. So possibly you come at the same time. And it's not an uncommon thing that two partners would like to come at the same time. The next one, they really go out there with names. They're not unknown names. The next one is whore. In that, this particular one goes right back to being submissive in the bed and, a little bit of roughness. There's a power balance there. And it gives you that feeling of, because you are submitting, that bad and ashamed, but in a good way. So it's not a bad thing. It's really good to use when, teasing, when your partner's teasing you. The men would like to be called sir, and it goes back and forth. There are so many things that you could call your mate during the act. There are so many, very big one. So, and that goes all over. It has a sexual continuity to it, which is enticing within itself. It's not in English, but we all know what it is. It's just like calling your partner daddy. And generally partners will tell other, their partners that what they want to be called. And they may change it up. They may want you just to call their name because they want to hear you say it. And it's a form of approval for what they're doing in the bed, and that they're satisfying you. There are so many different ways to look at this and to use this. They're not dirty. You are enjoying each other. You in the way of doing it. It's just adding that little spice of, if you want to call it conversation, call it conversation, but you're putting words into the act, and you're playing role plays, and it's turning both of you on, and you're in the mood, and you're really enjoying your partner. You're not going to say no. The only time that you would is if it's really uncomfortable and do say something. If you don't mind being called something, tell your partner, instead of calling you that particular word, like cum slut or whore or whatever, put it in a sense where you'll like it and have them call you that. Not everybody likes to be called something during sex, or any of these for that. Dirty little girl, very harmless. And I mean, they all say sex is the dirty act, and it's not. It's actually a very beautiful act. But doing that and saying dirty little girl just kind of sort of makes it that much more dirty, in a sense, if you want to just use one word in there. It makes it more, because you are making a mess, but it's a good mess. You don't mind it, and you just want to make more of a mess. So these are turn-ons. Whatever you want to call your partner, try them out. But do ask, if they do say, I don't like this, do respect them for that. So we're going to take a break here. And when we come back, we'll continue with things done during sex and or said during sex. So get that drink, get that snack, come on back, get comfortable, and I'll be back.
You really can't underestimate the importance of having the right creative work for your brand or your product. Whether it's a logo, a website, a book cover, or an ad campaign, you really need a quality design to make that big difference pop and deliver your overall engagement and success in a competitive market. That's where Design Crowd comes in. Design Crowd has over 750,000 designers from Sydney to San Francisco, ready to help you with awesome creative ideas. They make crowdsourcing work for you. So if you need a logo or you're working on your creative branding, you can go to designcrowd.com and post a brief describing the design you need. And then within about 2 to 7 days, you'll receive up to over 100 different designs from designers around the world. Then you pick the best design and approve payment to the designer. So you're only paying for the design that you want. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of freelancing and out of crowdsourcing. And you don't have to be a huge company like Harvard Business School to use Design Crowd, although they have used it as well. You can start a project on Design Crowd for as little as $99. And if you go right now to designcrowd.com/health and wellness or enter the promo code health and wellness on their website, then our health and wellness listeners will receive up to $150 off of your design project. That's designcrowd.com/health and wellness or entering that promo code health and wellness.
Still on the search of that one true love? On the limbo in this crazy world of dating, marriage, relationships? Well, listen to the Golden State Media Concepts Relationship Podcast, your one-stop podcast for everything about relationships.
Welcome back to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network, with your host Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Now, in the first portion of our segment, we talked about some dirty little names we could be calling our partners during sex, and they are all fun. But there are also things we can like to moan that will turn our partner on and make them go crazy with cum and orgasm. So we're going to get started on our moaning. First one on our list is I'm a cock-hungry slut. Now, how many of you ladies have told your partner that? Or men have told your partner that? Doesn't matter. There's a cock in the mix somewhere. I want you to come all over my face tonight. It's a request that can be filled. And I know there is a man out there that will do it. And a woman as well. That's why they make 69 a position in the sex dictionary. Watch me play with myself. Most couples are very, very turned on by this. It's a tease. It's foreplay. It is fun for your partner to watch you because they want to enjoy you in that way as well. Next one on our list. Bang me like I deserve to be punished. Now, we all like a little punishment with our sex. It's that rough and romantic sex. It's that stop and go. That total turn on in there. But punish her like you mean it. I worship your cock. Well, yeah, we're worshiping it for that evening, that sexual act, and what it can do for us, and what we can do to it. Tell me when you are about to explode so I can drink up every last drop of your cum. Come on. How many guys out there or women out there have said that to their partner? Because all they want is to see their partner expressing their enjoyment of their partner by exploding in sheer orgasm. It's there. It is there. This is part of your partner. You want to be part of your partner. Rub my tits while I suck you off. Come on, we talked about positions for blowjobs. Put a little titty play in there. Come on, ladies. You know you can do it. And you know it's fun because you're enjoying it and so isn't he. You're a sex god and not just a regular sex god. We won't even say the word. We'll just improvise, but I think you all know what I mean. So we'll just say you're a freaking sex god. Let your mind travel with that word. Can't say it. May want to. But it can be said in the bed, so go ahead and moan it. I can tell I'm going to orgasm multiple times tonight. Ooh, you've gotten so turned on that you want to please over and over and over, and you want to enjoy it over and over and over again. Treat me like a dirty little whore. Well, that is one of our dirty words we like to be called during sex. Why not mix them up a bit? It's usually dirty little girl, dirty little whore will work. Submission and domination, playing a role in sex, as usual. It is there. It is the enjoyable part. It's the part that most people don't even realize they're doing. But guess what? You are. just when you see it done elsewhere and it's actually showing the extreme that it can go to does not mean that you don't do it. So we have some form of submission and domination in every sex act we have. It's the way we get ourselves off. You're human. You like sex? You're gonna like that. It doesn't need to be separated out. Another lovely moan. Let me mount you so I can see my tits jiggle while we F. Told you can't swear on here. So I'm not going to. But I want your mind to just put the word there. Go ahead. Stick your fingers in my mouth after you finger me so I can taste myself. This is, I don't even know why they put this one in here. Moaning it, it's done anyway. You don't even have to moan that to know that you're going to experience that. It's part of the act between you and your partner. So, I don't know why they put that in here as a moan. But it is a moan. Nonetheless, if you want to say it out, go ahead. My nipples are so hard for you. Common one, but still effective. I'm going to tongue the head of your cock until it's wet as my pussy. Well, that is the goal. Because you want to be so totally open sexually that when you do explode with your orgasm, all hell breaks loose. Tickle my clit for me. And if you have to moan that in sex, he's doing it wrong. You're going to have to get either a new partner or train him the right way. That's all I got to say. My pussy wants you all night long. Again, if you've got to say that, then your sex is going to be short. Sweet, but really short. I've never been wetter than I am right now. That's possibly true. Well, let him know it. Let your partner know that they are able to get you wet and they are doing things to you that you probably didn't have done to you with any other partner. Makes them feel good. I'm going to massage your balls and blow you until you beg me to climb on top of you. Teasing, foreplay, that is, follow it through. If you're going to moan it, follow through. I can feel my pussy muscles twitching with pleasure. Well, if you don't, you're doing it wrong. Again, people. Moaning some of these things, your body's already doing it. But the fun way about it is if you moan it, your partner knows as well. But they are already noticing your reaction to their pleasuring you. I can feel my pussy muscles. Oh, I read that one. Yell at me. So we'll just ignore that. And go with another moaning. That's exactly how I like it. Oh, yeah. Well, guess what? I hope so. Because there's two ways of looking at that particular one. The first way is, one, if you gotta tell them, then they're doing it wrong. I mean, there are a lot of these things you can look at that way, as you can tell. But the one thing here, it also gives your partner confidence where they know that they are pleasuring you in the right way and they are finding your sexual spots. They're going to set you off into that massive orgasm. So that is a very good thing. So letting them know that is even better. They like to hear it. It is a reassurance for them to do more and more and more. We are going to take a break here again. Go replenish that drink, replenish that snack, come back, get comfortable again, and we'll be back with dirty things to moan during sex and finish out my show on a high note.
I want to talk to you guys about this amazing product I've been using lately called Hydrant. If you're like me and you want to kick the coffee habit, but you're worried about your energy levels depleting, to avoid the morning sluggishness and that midday slump, you need to make sure you're hydrated. It's super important. And that's where I've been using Hydrant. And for 25% off your first order, you can go to drinkhydrant.com and enter promo code GSMC at checkout. Hydrant is basically flavored electrolyte packets you mix directly into your water to make hydrating your body easy and delicious. And what I love about Hydrant, it's backed by research. The formula was developed by Oxford scientists to provide perfectly balanced, efficient hydration. Again, that's drinkhydrant.com and enter promo code GSMC for 25% off your first order. Another really cool thing about Hydrant, there's no synthetic colors or artificial sweeteners. The formula is vegan and you can choose between 3 different flavors or a variety pack. So for all my vegan friendly fellows out there, this one's for you. Again, this is drinkhydrant.com and enter promo code GSMC.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the GSMC Sex Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network with your host Andra, where the topic about sex is from the point of view of an older woman. Now welcome back to the final portion of our segment today, where we're talking about dirty words and dirty moaning during sex. We all do it. It is a natural thing. It just means you're enjoying yourself, and that's what sex is all about. Enjoying it. 2 partners together. Or just somebody you just want to go to bed with. So enjoy yourself. Because that's what you're there to do. Don't think too hard into it. So let's continue with things to moan, or things that have been moaned, if you want to put it that way in the matter, during sex. Another one that's quite interesting. I can tell I'm going to want it again right after we come. Gone. I'm not even going to say anything about that one. Not even going to say anything. Let me pick your balls before we start. Turn on for people. Tell them you're going to do it. However, if they don't like it, please keep their, respect their word. It's like my cunt was made from your dick. That one is original. I have never heard that one before. Quite original. I have to give kudos out to the Adam and Eve buff for that one. Take me from behind now, doggy style. I'm sure everybody out there has said that one. Push it in and fill me up. That one is somewhat common as well. I'm assured it's been used probably in different ways. Inject me with your cum is another way to put that. I've been waiting for your cock my entire life. Well, if that's the case, that is sad. But something to say makes your partner feel very important, special, individualized. If we're going to go that far. I'm gonna suck it like it's my favorite popsicle. Well, when you're going in for that blowjob, you are sucking like a popsicle, or a lollipop for that matter. You're just licking away and sucking on that head of that cock. That penis is enjoying in your mouth. So, go for it. It's a skin lollipop there. Jerk off for me a little. I want to see you touch yourself. Now, this is one of the requests that partners usually ask each other, which is very similar, to the watch me play with myself. It's just asking your partner to do it for you. Pound me harder with that massive cock. Okay. I'm not even going to say anything. That is what you want them to do. You want them to bang that cervix, or bang it so hard you're hitting that ultimate G-spot, and it's not even a G-spot. I believe it was a C-spot, or was it an O-spot, or was it a... Oh my gosh! I want my mouth around your balls. Now, this is actually becoming much more common and worked into sex play. It's something that couples do, but you've got to enjoy it. And sometimes it's very difficult, but infusing or incorporating the male's balls into your vagina is apparently a very pleasurable and very turn on, I would say. But it is most men don't want their balls played with, but for those men out there who do, it is something that can be done. Sometimes it's uncomfortable for them, I believe, men will not like to do it, but other men absolutely love it. So, if you like that, go for it. I want you to watch me tickle my clit. Again, another pleasurable tease for your partner, because they're enjoying themselves watching you enjoy yourself. And believe it or not, they're probably learning from that, because you know how to pleasure yourself. So they're picking up things. So that's the way of looking at all of these. I mean, we're moaning these things, and they're just coming as our partners or yourself. It goes either way. You're not even realizing it, and then you just moan that out. So it's kind of sort of a reassurance or a confidence booster, shall we say, for your partner. But when you're moaning these things, I'm assured you're not sitting there logically thinking about, oh, well, what can I logically moan? You are moaning what you are feeling at that moment during that passionate sexual act. I mean, with a partner that you want to be with. One day you might want it so dirty it's unreal. Scream those things out, moan them out, let your partner know that how you feel and that you are really enjoying your partner and you are enjoying yourself as well. Watch me lick my fingers and touch myself. Kiss me right after you eat me out. Oral play. Every human being likes it. Tell me I'm your favorite dirty girl. My orgasm is going to be out of this world. Moan on. I want your cum dripping down the side of your shaft so I can lick it all up. Very graphic, very long moan, but I see this more as what you want to do to your partner to turn them on, to tease them, foreplay. So that's an awfully long moan during sex. You might throw your partner off. I'm getting on top now so you can suck on my titties. Well, that's what they're there for. Play with them nipples. Let your partner pleasure you in every way. Do not leave one part of your body out. It will get jealous. I love it when you grab my ass. Do you like it when I pinch my own nipples? Spank my ass harder. These are things you're telling your partner that you want them to do to you, but it's very enjoyable. It's a turn on for you. This is why you're moaning it. Let them know. Moan on. Moaning's good. You don't want to be called that. You do it like a wet fish. There are other words and more colorful words used in that, but you all know what I'm talking about. I mean, a couple of more. The next time I masturbate, I'll be thinking about this. That was pretty nice. Everything feels so damn good when I'm with you. Again, confidence builder. These things that you're moaning, just showing that you're enjoying your partner, just showing that you can be that bit of submissive and or dominant or non-dominant for that point. So don't ever feel the shame. Just do respect each other's boundaries because you do not know what your partner will or will not like. Granted, there are those of you who are out there and have been together for a very long time and know each other well. There are still limits. Please respect them. Communication first and foremost. And as always, please practice safe sex. If not for your partner, for yourself. And that is going to do it for my show for today. Thank you for joining in.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network. From sex and relationships to health and wellness, life and happiness, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Sex Podcast.